Alright, welcome to the Maiden Voyage of Worms on YouTube. We're just going to follow along my journey of growing a worm farm. So it's bait, castings, using vermicast just to add in to my soil and other things that worm castings can create as a benefit. We'll add that into videos as we go along. One of my first intro videos due to technical usage of myself did not come through, so I'll show you what we're using. We just got a sifting set from Amazon. It cost me about $30. And what came with it is the mat you're going to see in the video. It came with a spade and the sifting ring, which is 12 inches in diameter. And along with that, it's also 4 springs. So we have the largest one, which is 12 millimeters, a 9 millimeter, 6 millimeter, and then the smallest one when you get to the end of your sifting for cocoons and stuff, you want the 3 millimeter. Most of your cocoons won't go through that one. And you'll see those on videos as we go through it. So I just want to thank you for joining me, and I apologize for choppiness of our first video. We'll be figuring out the format that we like. I'm getting used to this camera app I put on my phone, not using the traditional one. And then the rundown of what you'll hear me reference from the intro that was lost is the bowl that we are using to catch our worms in our sift was 87 grams empty. I put in 200 grams of pre-bedding in there. And that'll make more sense as you see it referenced. So we're just going to be sifting out worms from our original farm tote, which I've been using to repopulate new bins in my tower as we are breeding. So I just want to show you how I started. A lot of people, as you search worm farming and stuff, they'll buy a pound, which is about 1,000 worms from established worm farms. And maybe down the road I'll be in that position where I'm selling those for worm farms too. I don't know. We'll see where this journey goes. I'm just gonna go with the flow of whatever happens. But all of mine started with just 2 containers of live bait from Walmart, which cost me about $4 to $5 each. So $10 initial investment. I'll have videos that show how I set up my bedding bin, and those are both from the pet store's resources, which last quite a bit. I haven't had to buy any for probably a couple months, and I'll be buying one product soon and setting up a bin, so you'll see that. But as you start your worm journey or follow along, it'll be nice to know your scientific names, because as you search red worms, you have many types. As you can see, this is called the red worm. There are scientific names. One is Eisenia foetida. One is Eisenia Andreae. I can't remember how to say it. But this one, as you can see, is a Euro red worm, which is Eisenia hortensis. The other thing I'm excited about is videos I search. A lot of people have Eisenia foetida, the little red wigglers, and this red one is not that one. Most of the principles are the same, but I don't see people with a lot of videos in regards to the Eisenia hortensis particularly. So that'll be fun to explore that, and hopefully if you are trying to be specific on your searches of which worm you have, this will be a benefit. And I thank you for the journey of joining me. and I hope you forgive the first video of chopping this as I edit together. Right. So, what we're doing is we're just grabbing out some castings, sift. Our mat's doing the job, catching the extras, getting most of it into this bin. Looking for any worms. None in that. And then all the extras come. Put it to the side. This is all still kind of wet too. So the drier it is, the easier it sifts. All you have to do is brush it. I just got a second container pulling all the big chunks. Well, there's not many worms right now because as I'm pulling off the top, they're burying themselves down. So the further down we get, the more worms we're going to find. But you can see all this bedding is still hasn't been worked through yet, which is fine. That's why we're sifting it out. And that will become more bedding down the road. Now, in this bin, we had a pad that we grew, and it's been my food for the month. You can see they've been eating through it. See, it's fed them. You can see this guy. Good clitellum, good chunk. So we're just going to set this aside. And the guys that are in this, we'll let chill for now. You can see I have a freshly laid cocoon. So we'll just set that guy aside. Let them bury themselves in. We'll go through that one later. So we're just going to bring this guy back. And you can see already some fatties. Just pull them out before I sift, and they don't have to be too stressed. And they'll bury themselves down. See this little guy here. You see he's been digging down into a piece of wheatgrass. Roll this up all the way off top hand on that. Let's go ahead and sift this. Here's another guy. One more. We're getting to the bottom of the tote. We've worked through everything pretty good. So everything else is going to be pretty wet and solid. Let's see. This guy's in a little ball. There he is, little baby. I believe they're called wisps. work through to the bottom. We'll be found again on the final sift of the smallest one. I'm just going to give these guys some of the original bedding to live in. Okay. Alright, I'm going to work through the bin and we'll see what we have. Alright, so we've got them sifted. Now remember, the bowl that we were putting them in was 87 grams empty, 200 grams of the new bedding we were creating, and probably at least 20 grams of their old bedding. And let's just weigh this out and see what we got. So it's 0. So we're weighing in about 410. So probably at least 20 grams of that is the old bedding right here. And then we had 200 grams. So we'll do the math on that. 287. So we'll do the math on that. Good amount of worms, and it's not even all the worms, because remember we had that wheat pad. And we sifted all of the castings. And we'll let these dry out a little more and do a final sifting. Because what we're going to do is this casting, this is a cocoon. This is what the worm releases. It has eggs inside, and that's what we want to catch. And we're going to start another bin for another video of a cocoon hatchery. But we want all this to be just a little drier to go through the finer sieve. So the finer one is going to be about 1/10 of an inch, 3 millimeters, and it'll catch all the cocoons, or most of them. And then we'll start a bin there. Alright, so all we're doing is, this is one of the bins from the tower. So all this is from the OG. Due to a technical difficulty, that video did not save itself when I stopped it. So that's okay. Our channel can only get better from here. So this is newspaper that we've kept on top. As you can see, they've enjoyed it. Cut castings of some worms on it, and we'll use it in the future. So all we're going to do is set it aside. Okay. Then the next layer I have is bubble wrap. It helps kind of keep a oxygen barrier in here. As you can see, we have some babies on there. I'm just going to put them into the working bin. And we've also had a cocoon laid on top. Roll that into our cocoon catch. Just going to pick off the worms that we see on top here. And the rest are baby. So we're just going to dump this right into the cocoonery that we're stuffing. Alright, next layer I did another layer. Now we're just coming off of a winter cold, which was unusual for Florida. We're getting into the 30s and 40s, so to protect all these kids, we put an extra barrier of newspaper down, just so they could have a little insulation. Just gonna put that into our other bin. As you can see, this is a very worked bin. Okay? They are photophobic. They do not like the light, so as we pull back the top, they will dig down. As you can see, it's a very worked bin. So we'll just pull out the ones that are on top here. Now this bin was fuller when we started it, but because they've worked it down, it's finer particles. So it's lost some volume. You can see a cocoon. So we'll knock that down. Alright, now I'll show you how I do the sifting with this. Basically, we're just taking a handful. So you can see, we got some chonkers, good healthy fat ones. And eventually, I want to get to a point where we can sell as bait. And then basically, you're just sifting with this, and then we'll pull these guys out. And if some get down in there, and the other one, that's okay. So this is going to be starting another round of bins. So a good amount of babies in here. So stir them up so I can get them into our bowl over here. You want to be gentle, especially the babies. They're pretty fragile. So these ones. Yeah. So just knock the extras down in there. Oh. So these baby ones can get quite tricky. Got one little guy. Alright. And just keep doing that. Shift out the guys that we can. Again, some will get down into the other bin that's catching, and that's perfectly fine. will become a new hatchery. And these bigger guys will keep breeding. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Videos in the future will be a lot better than this first one. Just learning this new camera app I downloaded, and it's the editing technique and other glitches, but first one's always the roughest, right? Same in the kitchen, same in life. But thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.